Hello everybody and welcome back to the Cupcake Jemma channel with me, Sally, and today I'm going to be baking something healthy-ish. I know, it's pretty shocking news, isn't it? But trust me, these are really delicious, and this recipe is going to be for some healthy-ish banana breakfast muffins. We're going to be cutting out all the sugar, not all the sugar, just the refined sugar. We're going to be going with some coconut sugar instead, as well as some applesauce, which we're going to make, and some bananas, which are obviously packed full of loads of natural sweetness. We're also going to be using buckwheat flour, which is fab if you're on a gluten-free diet. They don't kind of crumble and go a bit gross in your mouth like loads of gluten-free stuff does these days. And we're also going to be reducing the dairy content. So I'm going to be using coconut oil and some oat milk rather than regular milk and butter. But you can substitute these out. If you want to go with butter and normal sugar and normal flour, then absolutely go ahead. I'll put full kind of descriptions in the description box below. So let's get started, and we're going to be starting with the sugar. So in this bowl, I've got 100 grams of coconut sugar. So we're going to put that into this large bowl here. We're going to do all of this by hand, so it's really, really easy. And now into that, we're going to use our coconut oil. So again, I've got 100 grams. Now, when you buy coconut oil, it'll probably come in a jar like this. Let me just show you. And it's kind of solid. I mean, it's not kind of, it absolutely is solid at room temperature. So what you need to do is melt it down. So you can do this on the hob or in the microwave until it's completely liquid like this. So just take the heat off it, let it sit for a little while, and we're going to pour that into our coconut sugar. There we go. And we're going to stir these together with a whisk just to combine them. So if you do want to use butter instead of coconut oil, just melt your butter and pour that in. You could even burn it because burnt butter is better than normal butter. So next up, we're going to put in some applesauce. Now I made this really, really easily, and what I did is I had bramley apples, which I peeled, cored and chopped into little pieces, and then I put them into a saucepan with a good squeeze of lemon juice, maybe about half a lemon's worth, and then I brought it to the boil over a medium heat, then dropped it down to a simmer, popped the lid on and left it for about 20 minutes, stirring every so often until you get this lovely, smushy, smooth apple sauce. And now this is just going to add lots of sweetness, natural sweetness to our muffin. So I'm going to put 3 full tablespoons into our bowl here. And this is great because it adds like an extra tang there as well. Like the apples really pull through in this. You're getting loads of flavors in this muffin recipe. So we're going to mix that in. And to it, we are going to add some vanilla. So about half a teaspoon of vanilla. Again, this is kind of optional, but I really love vanilla. It adds such a lovely kind of smoothness to all your bakes. And next up, we are going to add an egg. So just 1 egg that I'm going to crack into this bowl here, just to make sure we don't get any shell in it. And then we're going to put it in and whisk into our mixture. And then next up, we've got 2 tablespoons of some kind of milk. I've gone for oat milk because I'm trying to reduce the dairy in this recipe. So I've got 2 tablespoons of oat milk, but you could use soya or you could use regular milk or buttermilk as well. And we're going to pour that in and again mix it through just to combine it. There we go. Now next up, it is banana time. So I've got 2 lovely ripe bananas over here, which we need to prepare. So we need to make them really kind of soft and smushy. Ooh, so when you're baking with bananas, you do want to buy the ones that look a bit like this. And I'm not the world's biggest banana fan at all, but they're really great in this. They add such a lovely flavor and really delicious texture in baking. Like banana bread is one of my all-time favorites. And if you haven't made my banana bread recipe, then go and look at it and watch it and just make it, and it's the best thing ever, and it's full of butter and chocolate as well, so it really is delicious. So pop your bananas into a bowl, grab yourself a fork or potato masher, and you just really want to break these down until they're as smooth as you can get them. This is looking divine, and I just want to dive right in. No, really though, look how smushy it is. Okay, so once you're satisfied with your smushy bananas, we're going to add that into our mixture and again whisk it all together. Ooh. And now it is time for some dry ingredients. So we've got 190 grams of buckwheat flour here, and to this I'm going to be adding all sorts of lovely spices. So we've got a full teaspoon of ground cinnamon, I've got half a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of salt, and then I've got 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Don't forget that the full ingredients list is in the description box below. So we're going to pop that into our buckwheat flour and just mix it all together with this little whisk. And then we're going to add it into our bowl in here. And I'm actually going to swap to my spatula for this because I just want to fold the dry ingredients through. So nice and gently. Now you can use any type of flour here. You could just use regular plain flour if you wanted, but buckwheat flour is great because it is gluten-free and also it's got a really lovely wholesome flavour because it's a whole wheat kind of flour. It's got loads of fibre and nutrients in it as well, and it really does add a lovely flavour to these breakfast muffins. So let's just keep folding this through until it's one smooth mixture. And now this wouldn't really be a healthy-ish muffin without some nuts. So I've got 50 grams of nuts here, and I've got a mixture of walnuts and pecans, but you can use any kind of nut that you like. Walnuts and bananas are like a perfect combination though, so I would recommend the walnuts. We're going to put those in. You can see I've chopped them up pretty small as well, just so they spread nicely through the batter. And again, we'll just stir those through. And that's basically it. So grab your cupcake trays. I've got a regular cupcake tray here with 12 cupcakes in it, and I've lined them with paper cases. I'm just going to do this with some spoons. So we're going to evenly distribute our batter. It's quite loose, so just take your time. A couple of spoonfuls in each cupcake case. Once you've got them all nice and even, before we put them in the oven, we're just going to top them off with some seeds and some nuts. So in here I've got, I don't even know what's in here, like a random selection of nuts and seeds that I just have in my kitchen. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of these over the top of each of my muffins to add some extra crunch in there and also to make them look pretty, you know. Now they are ready to bake. So I've got the oven preheated to 170 degrees C, which is fan assisted, and we're going to pop them in for 20 minutes, but obviously we want to test them. So for muffins, I would actually recommend doing the skewer test rather than the pokey finger test. So we're going to grab a skewer, put it in the middle of one of our muffins just to make sure it's completely baked through. Look how pretty these look. They look pretty and they look wholesome. They smell absolutely delicious. So I'm going to crack one open. I've let these cool down for about 5 to 7 minutes because I think these should be eaten warm. So let's break one of these open, and you can see the texture inside looks really lovely and moist and springy, not like your classic gluten-free things that you get that just fall to pieces. Let's give this a go. Honestly, I'm not just saying it. That is really, really good. The banana and the applesauce that we used have made these really lovely and moist. You get the crunch as well, we can probably hear it, from the nuts and the seeds. And the coconut sugar and the buckwheat have given this a really wholesome, breakfasty flavour. They're really, really lovely, and they are a great, fun, different kind of breakfast. I think you should have them warm. You saw how easy the batter was to prepare, so you could just chuck them in the oven, ready for breakfast. If not, you can make them the day before and warm them up. And these are also really great to freeze. You can pop them in the freezer, defrost them, and then warm them up gently in the oven so that you've got warm breakfast muffins whenever you want them. I've honestly really enjoyed coming up with this recipe using different ingredients that you know I would never normally use. I love butter and I love sugar, but it has been really, really fun. So if you've got some other ideas of something along the similar lines, like kind of healthier, a bit more vegan, let me know in the description box below and I will do my best. Also guys, I need your help because over on Instagram last week, I did a poll to see what kind of lemon tart you wanted to see me bake on the channel, because there's two kind of lemon tarts in this world. You've got the classic French tarte au citron, which is divine, and it is a baked lemon tart. And you've also got that American lemon meringue pie, which is filled with curd and piled high with meringue. And I want to know which one you want to bake first. So down below in the comments, I have left a comment for each one, and whichever one gets the most likes is the one I'm going to bake first. So go and do that, and we'll be doing that next week. And make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm at Sally Dells, and you can kind of see what we're up to, and hashtag all your photos with hashtag CupcakeJemma, and you can follow Crumbs and Doilies as well. And if you're in London, then please come and see us in Soho. We are open. We've got all the cakes, all the coffees, all the cookies, and we've got a good range of merch over there as well. We've also got the Cupcake Jemma website where you can get all your bake at home kits, so loads going on. We'll be back next week with that lemon tart, whichever one it's gonna be, so we'll see you then.